Hey everyone, Christina Giordano here, and evidently happy holidays, as you can see from my background that is poking through. But this week's episode of Sold is going to be a little different because it's a snippet of a live talk that I held on Monday, December 1st at noon via Zoom, all about the new human. Well, specifically the sold approach and how it can bring the new human out of you. And if you haven't heard me talk about the new human before, head to previous episodes, either here on YouTube or on my podcast, which is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Now, to download the full recording, which is more than just this snippet, it includes an exercise that we did together that features one of my foundational methods that is in both the marketing methods and the manifesting methods. You can head to the description in this video, or you can head to my website, to the Get Guidance page, where there will be an option to download the recording there. Next week, we will be back on track with regular episodes, but I hope you enjoy this one. It is a little different from what I previously and in the past have talked about, but I'm fired up about it. So I hope you enjoy it. And until next time, be well and take care. Hello, everyone. I'm Christina Giordano, the founder of S.O.U.L, and I've been an entrepreneur for about 12 years now. I started my business back in 2013, and the way that it has evolved is astonishing. But it has evolved to what it is today, which is called S.O.U.L. And this is essentially what I consider to be a movement of soulpreneurs who are building soul-aligned businesses. Now, for those catching this live, I've let them know that I'm going to do my little presentation first, and then we're going to come back together after the recording. But they are going to get kind of like a little more of a little special touch after the presentation. So for those on the call, thank you so much for joining me today. And let's get started. As I said, I'm Christina. I've personally lived through what I preach about now, which is guiding soulpreneurs how to show up, be seen, and shine with their soul, which is their essence, which is their higher self, leading the way. Now, my own personal journey is a blueprint for how to actually make this happen, not by teaching you my way, but by helping you find your own way. I help you bring it all back to the essence that is you. And the souled approach entails both parts of soulful business building, marketing, and manifesting. So like I always say, and the people who are on this call definitely hear me say this all of the time, people can no longer be sold to, they must be sold to. That's S.O.U.L''D. That's where the marketing piece comes in. But in order for you to truly sell with soul, you need to be sold, S.O.U.L''D, on you first. And that's where the manifesting piece comes in. So what I do is I help you sell with soul, but more than that, I help you show up, be seen, and shine so that you can sell with soul. And I call the people who are drawn to my work soulpreneurs because they feel as though their career path and their soul path are uniquely intertwined. These are the people who are helping people transform, healing themselves, or achieving greatness. And for them, it's no longer a career or a job. It's a calling. But unfortunately, for the soulpreneur, and we were just talking about this as a group before I got started, marketing and manifesting, as it has been taught and modeled and utilized, looks and feels completely out of alignment. It may feel like force, pressure, too much effort, too many tricks, trends, tactics, all of which compromises your integrity. The soulpreneur, aside from that, aside from like the old paradigm of marketing, the soulpreneur will also usually face other wounds around visibility, speaking their truth, using their voice, overexerting themselves, or even undervaluing their innate gifts. But here's the thing, marketing and manifesting, when done from your soul, dissolves all of this misalignment, and therefore all of these challenges and wounds, because it's simply alignment with truth, your truth. And what is your truth? It's your higher self. It's your authentic nature. It's your essence. Your truth is your highest frequency. But most of us don't walk around emitting our highest frequency. For most of us, the frequency we emit is dictated by our external world and also by the beliefs we have about ourselves and our reality, which is usually based on past pain patterns and programming. But what if we walked around at our highest frequency? What if instead we decide to have and hold the standard of energy that is inside of us and not match the energy that is outside of us? What if we choose to embody our highest frequency and let the world match us? Meet the new human. Now, I've talked about this in previous emails and my content and my podcasts. Something is happening within our evolution. We are tapping into deeper states of consciousness and therefore data and therefore frequencies and energies that weren't previously as easily accessible to us. And this is somewhat of a natural byproduct of becoming a more conscious human being. But on a collective level, it's actually changing the way we show up in the world. We're getting new eyes. And I'm sure you've seen people talk about this on social media or within communities. 2025 has been termed the year of the great shedding. It's a snake year, so, I mean, self-explanatory. And a number 9 year, which represents completion. And it has truly been a year of shedding everything that isn't an accurate reflection of who we really are. And for many of us, we faced ourselves. We met our depths. We dropped the dead weight and we walked away from anything built on fear. So now we're thinking differently, moving differently, living differently, more consciously, and with a greater self awareness of not just ourselves, but of our connection to life, to divinity, to a greater power within us and around us. And because of that, reality now gets to be something that it wasn't before because of this knowledge. And so all of a sudden, we're co-creating with life in magical ways. And in some circles, this evolution is called the new human. So let me ground this down for you in language that I understand. The new human is nothing more than you building your entire life's foundation on nothing but your essence instead of your ego. This is where you let your soul take the lead in your life. Because when you move with the essence that is you, you just move differently. You're with clarity, you're with conviction, you're here for a greater purpose alongside a greater power, and nothing can stop you, not even yourself. This is you showing up for life as the most authentic version of you. The essence that is you. That's what it is. That's what your essence is. It's the most authentic version of you. And just as like a side note, this is not about toxic positivity. This is not about spiritual bypassing. This is not about becoming an unfeeling, unyielding robot. This is co-creating with a higher power for your higher purpose as your higher self, because you finally have an internal foundation that is anchored in something true. Your new foundation as the new human becomes anchored in the frequency of unconditional love. Now, hear me out. Unconditional love is not something you learn, it's something you remember. And on planet Earth, it's not really something that gets handed to you either, unless you're born into a family of angels. Well, I mean, that's amazing. But for most of it, it's something you have to work through on your own. It's not something you can fake either. You have to actually understand it in order to embody it. And to access it, you have to allow the inner transformation to happen in order for the outer transformation to occur. This is why I'm not a fan of the manifestation matrix, because you're doing all the affirmations, you're applying all the crystals, you're doing all the rituals and things, but you're still the same version of you that is in the reality that you've created. You have to be the newer version of you that has shed everything that isn't you so that you can manifest effortlessly. And most people won't do this simply because it takes radical honesty through a journey of self-discovery. I mean, not a lot of people they don't want to sign up for that because it requires a shedding of everything you thought you were so that you can discover who you really are. Like the outcome is phenomenal. The initiation into that outcome is freaky AF for a lot of people. But you get new eyes once you get reacquainted with the frequency of unconditional love. You can't unsee it. You can't unknow it. It's literally heaven on earth, and it's already within you. As I said in the beginning, the souled approach entails both parts of soulful business building, marketing, and manifesting. Like I always say, and that I've said in the beginning, people can no longer be sold to, they must be sold to. But in order for you to truly sell with soul, you need to be sold on you first, marketing and manifesting. This is what I do. This is my purpose. I bring you back to the essence that is you so that it finally lands. And I like to say, divinely given the roadmap for this in the form of my methods, the marketing methods and the manifesting methods. And with those methods came the gift of helping others see their essence for themselves. Something just happens when I'm in front of another person and they're telling me their life story and they're telling me how they got from here to here to here to here, and I'm lining up all the synchronicities. This is all happening like within my brain, by the way, and my body. I'm lining up all the synchronicities for them, and I'm seeing a truth that sometimes they can't see. And so I tell them what their essence is. I tell them the truth of their heart as it relates to the strength of their work. I can't tell you how many times I've had people cry on a call with me or right in front of me because I've told them something that they never really saw before. This is my thing. The marketing methods, which is the L.I.F.E method, the S.O.U.L method, and the L.O.V.E method, they help you capture the truth of your essence as it relates to the strength of your work. So this is the messaging and marketing strategy that is rooted in who you are. This is selling what you are called to do with your soul. It's the truth about you. You can't separate what you do and who you are. It's just you. The manifesting methods, which is the D.E.B.I.T method, the C.R.E.D.I.T method, and the R.O.S.E method, help you connect more deeply to the power of your essence, which again is your highest vibration, your universal signal, so that you can connect more deeply to the power of the universe. This is becoming divinely resourced as you bring your calling to life. So as you can see, working with these methods requires commitment to your truth, to your higher self, to your highest frequency. And working with the methods is a grounded yet ethereal experience back to your heart, to the truth about you and how you're meant to shine here so that you finally can. Let's take a look at the marketing methods real quick. There's a QR code on that page in case you want to find out more information about the online program and membership. But I kind of just want to give a little highlight of what this actually is. If the new human is about letting your essence take the lead, then this is where you let your soul do the talking. Buyer consciousness has evolved. We are motivated only by alignment now. That magnetic effect that you want to create with your buyers is only found when you're speaking to the truth of your work, to the truth about you. This is you speaking the language of your soul so that you can speak to theirs. So gone are the days of asking what sells. Now you're asking what aligns. If you're craving a wider impact, your audience, more often than not, is craving a deeper truth. What is the deeper truth about your work? Now, here's a quick rundown of the marketing methods. The L.I.F.E method, as many of you know, it helps you align the transformation that you provide so that you can fully understand and know how to sell it. It helps you essentially speak the language of your clientele by pulling out those aligned words and phrases that match what you're actually selling. The S.O.U.L method is helping you gain clarity on the actual transformation you provide, because obviously sometimes it's not so cut and dry. But you connect the dots from your past to your present and put it all together so that you're no longer, if you're a massage therapist, you're not selling massage therapy. That's never what you're selling. You're selling why it matters to you so much, because somehow in some way in a process and a method and an approach and what you do, when the magic happens, when you're doing what you do, that's what you're selling. And the L.O.V.E method, this is about applying those needle moving principles of marketing in a way that works for you. So, this is where you're really kind of taking those practical actions and lining them up in a way that feels good to you, but that also actually works for you so that you stick with it. All right. And then the manifesting methods, again, there's a QR code if you're interested in learning more about the online program and the membership. But this is essentially about becoming authentic. And we become authentic not by becoming anything, but by unbecoming, AKA shedding everything that isn't you. All of the programming, pain, and patterns that aren't yours to hold, that are actually holding you back. This is returning to your essence, the truest version of you, which, by the way, is the greatest version of you. If the new human is about letting your essence take the lead, then this is where you finally step into it. And if you're desiring to close the gap between you and your higher self, that shed that I'm talking about, that's the bridge. Here's a quick look at the manifesting methods. The D.E.B.I.T method is, okay, so I can't make this up. Debit is Latin for what is due or a debt, and debt is Latin for duty and obligation. What is pulling on your energy or draining you? This is the method that you will use to stop the energy leaking and heal yourself from that outdated and broken pain patterns and programming. Now, the credit method, this is like my favorite method because this is where we are pouring back into ourselves. Credit is Latin for to believe. Again, cannot make this up. What will fill you up and sustain you? This is a method where you will return to your essence and remember your value. This is where you begin to overflow. And then the R.O.S.E method. This is one that came after the debit and the credit method because the overflow requires output. It requires, I'm going to give part of it away, a reach and a ripple effect. So this is the method that will help you expand your overflow. This is where you're learning how to hold more in your field, in the pool of overflow. So I usually talk about the method as like the manifesting methods is like looking at yourself as a sacred vessel. Because of life and because life is simply life, you have developed cracks and holes in that vessel. This is where you stop the leaks. Nothing's able to stay in there because there's stuff that's leaking. So you stop the leaks, you heal those holes, cracks, whatever you want to call them, and then you pour into it. You got to heal it first. The inner transformation has to happen in order for the outer transformation to occur. I know that we want to bypass the healing. We're so sick of healing. I know. I've heard it all before. It has to happen. You can't fake a frequency. You can't fake it till you make it anymore. The new paradigm won't let you. It won't let you. And then the last part of the manifesting methods is there's 5 practical applications that look at the way you understand love, because the manifesting methods, I mean, literally everything that I do is about love, but the manifesting method specifically is about tapping into and finally understanding the frequency of unconditional love. But you have to understand a healthy love. Because again, we weren't taught this in Earth School. At least I wasn't. I was taught the total opposite of what that is. So, with the practical applications, we're looking at attachment styles, the divine union within. That's referring to the masculine and feminine energies within you. Are they balanced? Are they in harmony? We're looking at love languages. We're looking at the way you release and receive life force energy and more. There's more than that. So these methods are the roadmap to the new human within. This is where you go from victim to free, from contractive to expansive, from outer focus to inner focus, from surviving to thriving, from mind to heart, from ego to essence. This is where you unbecome everything the world taught you to be so that you can become who you truly are. That's what the new paradigm is asking of you. It's asking you to drop everything It's asking you to walk into it with a clean slate, not perfection. It's not asking you to be perfect. It's asking you to see so that you can use those new eyes and build something greater that's anchored in unconditional love, because that's what's going to move this planet forward. That's what's going to take us into the next generation after generation after generation. The old paradigm of fear and survival and the BS, it's like, I mean, if it's not obviously collapsing before your eyes, it will. It will. It has to. So right now I'm going to do a quick series of prompts for you guys. We're going to look at the life method. Now, again, if you've done this with me before, which I believe every single one of you has, it's currently on the call. On the recording, maybe not. But for those of you who are on the call, I've cranked up the questions a bit so that it's a little more, I think I called it juicy in the intro. But this is where we're going to actually apply the concepts, um, or take the concept of the new human and use the methods to get us somewhere with it. So you're going to walk away from this call with some sort of direction, and I will continue.